Hello, everybody, and welcome to State Basketball. It is the 2020 Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. It's the Class 5A semifinal. It's the Iowa City Little Hawks and the Johnston Dragons. A date in the state finals on the line here this morning at Wells Fargo Arena. Hello, everybody, and welcome courtside. Paul Yeager alongside Laura Leonard as we get ready for a game, Laura. These 5A semifinals, I cannot believe we actually get to sit where we're sitting. These are some of the absolute best basketball games of the year, and they're taking place in front of us.
And I'll tell you what, these two teams are very similar. You look at them on paper, statistic-wise, they're very similar type of teams. So this one, I think, is going to be an up-and-down type of game. I think you're going to see a lot of scoring in this one. And again, and I've said this throughout many of the games here at the tournament, it may come down to the end, and it may come down to free throw shooting because that's how close these two teams are.
Well, and if there's a free throw, at least the two teams get to rest for about 10 seconds because this could be a track meet. Johnston known for pushing the pace. The problem, Coach Gillick told me this morning, we got to play defense, otherwise the running's not going to matter.
Yeah, you can outscore people, but you've got to stop them from scoring as well. So you can put the ball in the hoop, but you have to get back. You can't celebrate after you score, even if you get a run out. You have to turn around and put your attention on playing defense because Iowa City High has three players that certainly can put it through the hoop.
These are three players that are all playing after they finish their time in Iowa, all headed for Division I basketball. And sometimes you get that where you have these great players. What makes this a great team? Rose and Kumu, she dishes, she drives, she does it all, but it's really Jones and Rocca that get a lot of headlines, and deservedly so.
Yeah, but what three great players to build that team around, to have a nice nucleus that all do a little bit something different for this team. And you're right, I think it all starts with Rose and Kumu because she's the one that gets them set in the offensive court and dishes the ball. We saw her several times in the quarterfinals finally put the ball on the floor and take it on her own. She was very unselfish in that first game. We'll see how she comes out here in this game today.
City High, in their opening game, how they got here, they do have a 23-1 record. They knocked out Cedar Rapids Prairie, a regular season rematch. Ashley Jones, 18 points and 8 rebounds. She was 7 of 14 from the field, and they shot nearly 50% for the field for City High. Johnston, they had another regular season rematch. They knocked out Southeast Polk in the quarterfinals. Maya McDermott, blink, and she has 30 points. That's what she does all the time. Maddie Mock hasn't had a lot of offensive scoring, but it's been her rebound, Laura, that's made the difference.
And sometimes it's players like that that make the difference, that maybe don't show up in the scoring column, but they're down in the paint working hard to get the offensive rebounds, to give you a second possession, to get the ball to McDermott and let her light it up, or to Kendall Neat to light it up.
The bands are warming up, and so are the fans. We'll be back in just a moment with our seeds for success. It's Class 5A semifinals when we return.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on.
They say our idea of fun is morning tea. And afternoon tea.
And anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
It's game day. Brisket smoking. The stakes are huge. Full rack, baby back. Fired up, quarter pound. Fast pass, dribble down. Slam dunk. Buzzers beat.
Victory goes to Fairway, the champion of me.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. Our city is buzzing. Catch what you've been missing today.
Welcome back inside Wells Fargo Arena, courtside, Class 5A semifinal. Paul Yeager and Laura Leonard with you here this morning. And we talk about these two teams. It's been very familiar names. They both have played here quite often. In fact, they even played each other back in 2018 when City High won that one by 6. They're very familiar with one another. And over the years, some of their reasons for their success, Laura, has been consistent. But what are their needs for success today, their seeds, as we say?
Well, for Iowa City High, they need to continue to have that balanced attack, and they got that in the first game. They had 3 players in double figures, and all very consistent scores. Aubrey Jones with 18, Ella Cook with 13, and Rosen Kumu with 12. So they need to have that again, and they're going to have to get back in defense and transition, because we know as soon as Maya McDermott gets the ball in her hands, she's going to push tempo, and that's the first key for the Dragons, is they want to continue to get out and run. They're fine when they set up in the half court, but their number one priority is to get out and push the tempo. And Coach Jillick says, you know what, we need to be intense, not casual. So if you take plays off, you're going to get burned. So make sure you are intense from the opening tip till the final buzzer.
Today's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at KrugerSeed.com. Aubrey Jones averages 20 points a game. Kendall Need, 19 points a game, Laura. Those two players quickly can get a game out of control for you.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to try to do, is try to maybe establish the two of them to get things going here to start this ball game. They are the go-to players, but you also have a nice complementary attack on the wings and at the point for both of these ball clubs. So it's not just one player for either one of these teams that's going to be the player that you need to key in on. You need to key in on all of them.
Starting lineups coming your way next from Wells Fargo Arena.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics, because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Crowded lecture halls? Not anymore. Southwestern Community College is a different place. It's where we break from traditional college to do what's best for your career. It's about teaching the way you learn, having fun along the way, and giving you the experience you need for what comes next. A job and an income in as little as 1 year. That's why you go to college in the first place. Southwestern Community College. Your career starts here. Check out SWIC's career-related programs at swiciowa.edu/yourcareer.
I'm an Iowa business owner. My dad gave me some advice 47 years ago when I left home. He says, when you move to a new town, you need to find 3 people. You need to find a good mechanic because you need your car working so that you can get to work. You need to find a doctor so that you can stay healthy. But most importantly, you need to find a good banker because it gets tough out there. We would not be here today if it wasn't for our bank. I love my Iowa bank.
More Iowans choose to bank with an Iowa bank. Get to know a real Iowa banker and discover the genuine difference of Iowa banks.
The Iowa Bankers Association is proud to help students reach their goals both financially and educationally. That's why we are honored to provide 5 student athletes from this year's basketball tournament with $1,000 scholarships. Follow their Facebook page, facebook.com/Iowa Bankers, to see the winners. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for introductions. Here's Mr. Tim Fitzpatrick.
Ladies and gentlemen and basketball fans, welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa for the 2020 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Today's 5A semifinal matchup will feature the Johnston Dragons and the Iowa City High Little Hawks. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players for today's 5A semifinal matchup. First of all, the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Johnston Dragons. Number 4, Zoe Buchan. Number 10, Ashley Faber. Number 12, Macy Downing. Number 22, Kayla Frickenstein. Number 24, Molly Nelk. Number 32, Natalie Carey. Number 34, Allie Hart. Number 42, Audrey Till. And number 44, Emma Hampton. Your assistant coaches, Mark Hine, Brad Buchan, Jenny Cook, Christine Wolford, and Isaac Rodenberg. Now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the City High Little Hawks. Number 1, Carrie Koenig. Number 2, Cece Kelly Harvey. Number 4, Georgia Kim. Number 5, Lauren Cook. Number 11, Evian Richardson. Number 12, Mia Driscoll. Number 13, Jay Denser. Number 14, Ayana House. Number 15, Andy Westlake. And number 32, Anna Kanucky. Your assistant coaches, Lindsay Bernard, Fred Riddle, Jeremy Wells, and Tim Casey. And now, here are your starters for this 5A semifinal. For Johnston, a senior, number 2, Maya McDermott. For City High, a senior, number 3, Rose Nkumu. For the Dragons, a junior, number 14, Kinsey Jellick. For the Little Hawks, a freshman, number 10, Kelsey Jones. For Johnston, a sophomore, number 20, Anna Gosling. For City High, a junior, number 20, Ella Cook. For the Dragons, a senior, number 30, Kendall Need. For the Little Hawks, a senior, number 22, Paige Rucka. And for Johnston, a senior, number 40, Maddie Mock. For City High, a senior, number 23, Aubrey Jones. The head coach for the Johnston Dragons, Chad Jellick. For the Little Hawks, Bill McTaggart. Now please turn your attention to the scorer's bench as I introduce your officials for this 5A semifinal. Chad Slagle, Jared Ray, Rich Collison, and your bench official, Dan Beating. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask at this time that you please join us and direct your attention to the court as the colors are presented for today's game. The winner set VFW 8142 color guard has presented the colors at the Girls State Basketball Tournament for over 50 years. The color guard has members from the Marines, Army, Navy, and Air Force who have served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Now for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by Mount Pleasant High School under the direction of Marlene DePriest. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets from there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
Starting lineups are brought to you by Buena Vista University, located in Storm Lake, Iowa. Buena Vista University prepares students for lifelong success through transformational academic, professional, and co-curricular programs. Schedule your visit today at bvu.edu. And Kumu, Jones, Cook, Rocca, and Aubrey Jones, McDermott, Gillick, Gosling, Need, and Mock. Johnston last year, Laura, in the semifinals, knocked out in a fantastic 5A game. City High lost in the first round last year. Both of these teams trying to get to Friday night at 6 o'clock in the 5A championship game. The Johnston Dragons in their black. Team picked black. They could have gone with gold, but they went with black, trying to get into the title game. City High in their traditional white uniforms, red numbers, trimmed in black. Need and Cook tip it away, and we're underway. Quickly up ahead, no good. McDermott the rebound for Johnston, as Nkumu's shot is off the mark.
Well, we were wondering how aggressive Nkumu was going to be in this ball game, and she took it right to the rack on the opening tip. Saw the opening as the defense didn't really get a chance to get set, and she tried to take advantage of that.
Johnston to inbound on their own basket. Gosling drives, forces it, and she'll get a chance for a three-point play.
Good by Anna Gosling.
One of the smaller players on the floor takes it right to the hoop and powers it up, gets it through contact, gets it to go, gets to the line. That's a big momentum boost right out of the gate for the Dragons.
Gosling connects on the free throw. 3-0 early Dragons. Johnston knows Nkumu is going to try to drive that basketball. It's just a matter of if she shoots or passes. Here they get it to her, and she kicks again. Cook cuts off. Mock up ahead, too much for Need. Need can go and get a basketball, just not that one.
Yeah, that was a little too tall, but you can see what the game plan is. Pull the rebound and run.
Nkumu draws McDermott early on in the matchup.
And they're sagging into the middle.
And Mock is going to be whistled for the foul, as driving was Paige Rocca.
Also number 30 for Johnston, Kendall Need.
Or that's Aubrey Jones that was fouled, sorry.
Aubrey Jones at the line shooting 2.
Well, you can kind of see what the game plan, what the intent is initially here to start this ball game. Johnston get out and run as often as they can, and Iowa City High has set up in the half court. They're wanting to establish inside.
Free throw is good for Jones. The foul was actually charged to Kendall Need. Gosling, left elbow, good.
Anna Gosling.
Well, we talk about Kendall Need, we talk about Maya McDermott, but Gosling is the one stepping up big to start this ball game.
Sometimes it's your 4th and 5th players that make the difference, and so far Johnston's are doing it. Jones misses, gets around Need, and Need's going to be called for a foul, and that is her second foul.
By Aubrey Jones.
And we're not even 90 seconds into the ball game, Laura.
That's going to be a difference maker. So now you talk about maybe your 4th player, your 5th player stepping up and scoring. Now you need to have somebody come off the bench. Kendall Need is going to have to go to the bench, but they have not made that move yet.
She's got to promise not to get a foul, as some players will have to do.
Well, that's hard to do, knowing that you've got the 2 fouls on you. You're going to have to change your game as far as your mindset. You can't be as aggressive as you want to be. If you're going to drive the ball, you have to make sure you're avoiding contact. You don't want to pick up a 3rd foul on a charge.
Cut and score for Gosling again. She now has 7, all of Johnston's points.
So they're allowing Gosling to score. They're trying to shut down others, and exactly what Jones is doing. Go right at Kendall Need. I'd take her even another step in and try to get that 3rd foul on her.
McDermott pushes. Mock. Gillick inside Need. Mock touch pass. Too strong. Mock goes over it. Need gathers it. Need hits. That's why they need her in the game.
They need Need. They need her in there. It's a double need. They need her on the glass. They need her to score. And again, a little bit of a risk as she went up for that offensive glass.
We talked about in the open how Mock hasn't been scoring as much, but on the rebounds, and they need them both. And we also talk about one thing we didn't get to was Ella Cook. She had a huge quarterfinal where she had 13 points and 9 rebounds.
Yeah, she came up big in that quarterfinal game. And again, now we're seeing 2 players really for each respective team that really are not their primary scorers stepping up and making noise.
Gillick's shot not good. Mock collects, fakes, and offensive foul on Maddie Mock. Said she used the arm and elbow to clear space.
Maddie Mock doing a great job of going to the glass, then in trying to reposition herself, you can see the hook right there. That's a good call.
Chad Slagle, Jared Ray, and Rich Collison, veteran crew, on the call for this one.
A little bit different set. They have Rocca setting the lineup or setting the offense.
Jones goes after Gillick. And I don't know, the officials had to confer quick. It'll stay with City High. City High can take the lead with a 3 or tie it with the 2. Jones. Dishes. Oh, what a look to Ella Cook.
Great pass. She had 3 defenders on her as she was dribbling through the lane.
McDermott. Oh, Mock over top. No good. Rebound again. Nearly went back to Johnston.
Tell you what, the intensity in this first quarter is almost like a championship game intensity.
I've said it all week. These 5A semifinals are extremely fun. We're off to a good start so far. 3 on the way, no good. Rebound, Johnston, as Cook's shot goes off mark. Need pulls up, transition, no good. Rebound, Nkumu. Rose knows that she can get past the defense and does. Meade couldn't stop her.
Well, you can't. I mean, you don't want to reach in and you don't want to pick up foul number 3. And McDermott trying to get into a position and anticipate the move of Nkumu and just could not get there.
Meade is fouled on her way to the basket, and she'll shoot a pair. Because if you're Maya McDermott, you can't afford to pick up fouls. She's known at times to get into foul trouble, and that absolutely changes your game plan if you lose both Meade and McDermott with foul trouble.
You know, impressive so far, though, that they didn't make the move right away to get Meade out of the ball game when she picked up foul number 2. As you said, it was just not even 90 seconds into the ball game. So she's adjusted what she can do on the floor.
Our second tie of the game and a substitution made there. The IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. 3:30 to play here in the first quarter. We're tied at 11. Rose Nkumu on McDermott. Spin move, kick, 3, short. Rebound, McDermott fighting, but the long arms of Aubrey Jones won't go. Jones rips it away, and it's going to be off of Aubrey Jones. The thing about the Jones girls we've talked about, Laura, is just their length with those arms.
They have long arms, and they just stay after a ball. They never give up on any loose basketball, any rebound.
The Yukon in the game. McDermott pulls up, sets up 3. No. Maybe just a little rushed for Maya.
No, she lost the handle on the basketball, then trying to set the feet as she did have an opening and maybe not on balance for that shot.
A little more deliberate now from City High.
We saw this a little bit in the quarterfinal where they took a little air out of the ball, trying to slow the pace down.
Jones, spin, and loses the handle, but they'll keep it. Emma Hampton on defense. So Emma Hampton comes in, had some minutes in the quarterfinal game. Hampton played 6 minutes. They're probably going to need her for more than 6 as she goes back to the bench.
Yeah, you're going to see her in there. They need the height and the length in there, and McDermott's going to pick up her first foul as they inbound to Nkumu.
So Rose will get a pair. So Johnston now, Gosling and McDermott, the 2 starters, but they're joined by Molly Nelk, Emma Hampton, Zoe Buchan, and then Kinsey Gillick in there. So both Mock and Need on the bench, and they'll check. Well, Mock will here at the horn.
Substitution for Johnston, number 40, Maddie Mock.
They're going to try to get a good rotation going because Johnston will play a fair number of players off the bench because they do play at that high tempo. So they want to keep players fresh and giving the starters a little needed rest.
Gosling, nice pass to Mock. She's fouled and it goes in for a 3-point play.
Good by
Maddie Mock on the season, Laura, has only, and I say only, averaging 5 points, but it looks like it's one of those we're going to have her score to make a difference in the game.
Well, she's been doing all of her work on the glass, and that's been a vital part of the season for the Dragons, the work that she does on the rebounding side of things, but got herself in position, and what a great little pocket pass inside between 2 defenders by Gosling.
Mock now with 3. The team 14. City High 13. 1-point advantage. Dragons approaching 2 minutes here in the first quarter. 3. Good for Kelsey Jones, the freshman. Get used to saying Kelsey Jones, Laura.
Well, and she came from the weak side all the way underneath as they hit the ball in the high post. And sister to sister, Aubrey patiently waited up top and then swung it out to little sister on the wing.
Kelsey averages 11. So not afraid of this big stage. She's seen big sisters play here before. Now it's her turn. McDermott drives into the lane. Right side, too strong. Aubrey Jones, the rebound.
McDermott adjusted midair, thought she was going to maybe get some contact or somebody was going to contest that shot. She goes straight up to the glass. She knocks it down, and then they get a big answer from Paige Rocca.
Oh. Biggest lead of the game at 5. And a travel at the top of the key by Maddie Mock.
For Johnston, number 20, Anna Gosling.
They were trying to use that little flip back as Mock trails the play. McDermott takes the ball into about the free throw line, turns, and flips back for the three-pointer, but they have the turnover.
Need still sitting on the bench, and I'm wondering if she'll stay the rest of this quarter with those 2 fouls, but Maddie Mock and Nelk. Nelk gets the defense right there. She steals it. McDermott in transition. She's hit by Evian Richardson up top. Consequential, but here's the thing. Maya McDermott in the game against Sioux City East in January hurt a shoulder. Coach Jillick's not 100% sure that Maya's truthful with her to say that I'm all right, Coach, that certain things bother her. We'll see if it bothers her as it goes on here.
It didn't in the quarterfinals. She had 30 points. But you're right, and she did have that injury midway through the season, has played her way through it. And, she's a gamer, so she's not going to tell the coaches if she's really hurt and can't play. She wants to be out there, and she's going to muscle her way through it.
I think gamer in all caps is how you would describe Maya McDermott. 3, Rocca shot, no good. Mock again the rebound. Johnston doesn't have numbers, so McDermott pulls it back out. She'll drive on Nkumu, forces it up and scores. She played through the contact to get the 2.
And it was a little stop and go, and finally blow by. And I know it wasn't Nkumu, but somebody else had a hand on the ball. I couldn't see who it was, but she was able to power it up through that.
Sometimes you have to play through that contact, anticipate that contact, and that's what McDermott did.
And sometimes you wonder, things like that are things that could hurt that shoulder, that pressure down on the ball. Rocca with a big shot right before the buzzer.
5-point advantage for City High through 1 quarter.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu.
Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever. And scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. City High 21, Johnston 16, Class 5A semifinal. From Wells Fargo Arena at the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament. Maya McDermott from way out 3 short. Rose Nkumu the board to start the second quarter. Jones 3, no good. Richardson and Mock fighting, and are we having out of bounds? Not a foul called on that play.
Boy, what a battle for the rebound. Those were the only 2 players right in the vicinity going up after it. Goes out of bounds back to Johnston.
Maddie Mock will continue her basketball career at Western Illinois in the fall. Gets it to McDermott, who will be a UNI Panther among 5 others from the state of Iowa. She's going to the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. And there's a Jones going to Iowa State. So you want to watch college basketball, here it is.
Yeah, you get
and Kumu's going Division I.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet.
Yeah, a little flavor of what you can follow next winter. Turn on the TV and you're going to see somebody from the state of Iowa playing basketball at a high level.
Gosling, the trail, left elbow, short. Mock powers through, falls to the floor. Gosling back with it, waiting for McDermott to free up. That great defense of Rose and Kumu.
Staying right with her, and they know when McDermott gets the ball in her hands that she's the one that gets things set.
Are you kidding me? She did, and she knows it. Kendall Need hadn't played for most of the last part of the first quarter. She just picked up her third foul, and she knows it wasn't the best use of that third foul.
Right away, and it was just an aggressive move. She made the nice move, pulled up to shoot the jumper. When she came up short, she reaches in, trying to get the ball back for him, and that's a costly foul right there. Let's see how Johnston adjusts.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
19 points a game is what Kendall Need scores for Johnston. And she is going to probably sit for the next 6 minutes and 43 seconds. Laura, when you sit out that long and foul trouble, are you as effective in the second half when you come back?
You know what? That's really a great question. I think it just depends on the player and how they adjust to the situation, knowing that they have to adjust their game, thinking, okay, I can't be as aggressive as I normally would like to be, so what can I do to be effective? And if they can change that game to where they can make a difference in the second half and avoid the foul trouble, then yes, they will be effective. If they just stay with the game that they normally play, then no.
Well, Molly Naut called on in relief, as is Kinsey Gillick, who will have to play a little bit of a different role now on the floor. Nkumu backs down McDermott. Ball yard move. She was looking for Richardson. Nkumu's feet just not quite set the way she would like for that shot.
Well, they made the extra pass to get the opening.
Gosling's three, no. Mock tried, or Gillick tried to tip it.
And Kumu directing traffic. They're getting the double high post. We're going to try to get her a drive to the basket.
And that's what they did right there. Too strong for Jones. McDermott pushes. Oh, nice move. And she'll shoot before the shot, and Kumu is going to be whistled for the foul. And I'm pretty sure that's her second.
That is. And so now we're starting to see, we're getting into the part of the game where some key players in a little bit of foul trouble. Johnston could play to that, maybe take it right back at her, see if they could get foul number 3 on Nkumu.
And you think that McDermott's not going to drive and try to get that third foul? You're crazy.
Well, if she understands what the situation is and is aware, sometimes you're not always aware of those 2 fouls.
Molly Naut, the 3. She had the game winner against Dowling right before Christmas to give them the win. She's 14, a freshman, had no idea what was really kind of happening. Well, that's just a shot, but she collected the scrum, hits a big 3 right there to pull them within 2.
You like it when freshmen really aren't aware of how big the stage is, and they're just playing basketball. Doesn't faze them at all.
This time from the left side. So Molly Naut, 6 points, just like that.
And McDermott found her right away. Nobody covered up for City High, and they're going to need to be aware of where she is. Now, you hit a couple, you got to make some adjustments. You got to start paying attention. She hits 3, then you really have to find her.
Richardson, oh, I thought she was going to shoot it. She is, a little strong. Who got the rebound but Maya McDermott? She's looking for Nkumu to try to pick up that foul. Nelk again, McDermott back to Nelk, set up three. Does she have it? A tray, 3 in a row. Molly Nelk, does she know what's happening right now?
You should have seen the look on her face. She turned and looked at Maya McDermott and went, wow. It was the best, it was priceless.
Kendall Need says, I'm good. I'll let just Molly play. How about that?
Yeah, I think she's relaxed a little bit more over there on the bench.
Richardson's shot is strong. Nelk the rebound. McDermott. Gosling. Now Mock. Now you got to say, where's Molly Nelk? She's under the basket. A little too strong. Tipped off of City High.
Oh, man,
Boy.
I'm telling you what, Jillick started going the other way. I think she thinks she was the last one to touch it, so maybe they catch a break here.
And the official said underneath that he pointed right at Richardson is that she's the one who touched it. So now Johnston will have the basketball and their 4-point lead with the chance to extend it. First they got to get it in, and they do to Gosling. That's Jillick. Mock drives. Gets contact. No bucket. They'll say it was before the shot. You and I have both seen Johnston at various times during the season, Laura. We have not seen Maddie Mock attack the basket like she has tonight in quite some time.
No, different mindset and knowing, I think maybe with Kendall Need sitting on the bench, that she needs to step it up and maybe take up some of that scoring that's sitting over there. She needs to pick up that end of it.
Maddie Mock, the free throw is good.
Maddie Mock thought it should have been an and one, but the foul was on the floor, so she's shooting two. And she looked like, as she was starting to take her steps back to play defense, maybe coming up just a little bit lame. I don't know, limping a little bit, so maybe fell hard on that contact.
Well, Mock, as we have the drive by Rocca, and Maddie gets the clear. Mock in the regional final did hurt that ankle, and she was in a walking boot. In fact, she was in a walking boot this morning on the way to the arena. She's hardly practiced at all.
And she is limping, you can tell, and she's in a lot of pain. And I shouldn't say a lot of pain, she's in pain. It hurts her, but they're going to give her a little bit of a rest. And what a great effort to be able to play through that and be out on the floor and give the kind of minutes that she's giving.
Allie Hart comes in on another IMTINS.com IMT substitution. And the bucket for City High the other way.
Rocca gets it off the glass. Little drive into the middle of the lane, mid-range jumper.
Nelk back to McDermott. 2:40 to play. McDermott fakes, bakes, scores.
Nice driving basket.
Now this is where McDermott starts heating it up. You could see the footwork as she tiptoes through the defense.
And when you're up 3 like Johnston was on that point, oh, what a response for City High. Ella Cook, never mind. Wow.
This whole tournament, Ella Cook has come up huge.
Floater in the lane, no good. City High, the rebound. Nkumu will walk it up with a little brisk pace.
Wanting to get them set, they want to make sure that they can get a bucket to tie or go ahead.
A wide open, holy cow, what a three. You cannot leave Aubrey Jones alone, and Coach Jillick knew it. His arms went way up on that one. Somebody did not get out there, and they'll hear it in that huddle.
And he called timeout right away, went to the official and said, I need to talk to my team. Let's discuss this, because that was a big bucket for City High. They certainly had withstood a little bit of a rush, a push from Johnston, climbed back into it to get the 1-point lead, and that's just miscommunication on defense. And I think Coach Jillick wanted to take the opportunity here in the first half to make sure that his team knows that they need to communicate, get good defensive rotations. You can't leave any of these players open for City High.
And you can see Jillick in that reaction. He just had that coaches know, and you know that the girls know.
Right.
And
yeah.
it's those moments, Laura. That's never kept in any scorebook.
Johnston with
But
possession
they do it when they look
timeout.
back at a tape. There was a bucket. There was a bucket. There was a jump out we didn't get. Whoever has the least amount of those usually is your winner. McDermott pulls her dribble up way away from the basket. Gosling comes to the rescue. Now City High has extended a little bit of pressure. And that's going to be City High basketball as McDermott last touched it.
New wrinkle coming out of the timeout. They come out to extend. It looked like maybe a 1-2-2. Extended out, put some pressure on the ball handler.
So now City High with a 1-point lead and the basketball with the final 90 seconds of this great first half to play. Jones. Oh, nice trail, and no, they're going to say travel or foul? Foul. Boy, I thought for a minute they were going to say she traveled. And I think the Johnston fans thought that too.
Also number 24, Molly Nelk.
Molly Nelk, the foul.
Nelk's first personal.
Yeah, I think you had one official underneath that saw something, the official on the wing saw something, and he was the one on the wing that made the call.
Taken away by Johnston. Let's see, getting her hand in it there was Buchan. Another coach's daughter. Two of them on the floor. There's one, the head coach's daughter. Kinsey's shot, no good. Rebound, another. Buchan gets it, and she's fouled out front. And Rocca, I think, knew it. Coach McTaggart knew it. He has to sit down for a minute.
Number 22, Paige Rocca, her second personal. 8th team foul.
Yeah, that's just one of those hustle plays that momentum going one way, Buchan able to grab that loose ball, was on the attack, and Rocca's going by, just swatted at it and got too much of Buchan's arm.
Zoe, the sophomore, hits the first to tie the game again. Fourth tie of the game. Maddie Mock back into the game as Buchan hits them both. She now has two.
And they're going the last minute of this quarter without McDermott and Need on the floor.
Three, in and out, no good. Great crash by Jones. Aubrey Jones with 11 and a great finish.
We saw her do that in the quarterfinals, that she was coming from the weak side, just flying to the glass to get the rebound.
Johnson had a great quarterfinal game with Southeast Polk in a regular season rematch. 25 seconds. Molly Nelk at the top of the key. Other than Mock, this is your future Johnston team for next year. Gonna have to get some help. And it's tipped away on the line. City High. That one just about went bad, and now Jillick's got to bring back in Maya McDermott.
And he's bringing in Need as well for the last 11 seconds. They want to try to get a bucket, give them a little spark right at the buzzer if they can.
Johnston, number 15, Andy Westlake.
11.1 to go in the half. Iowa City, City High with a 1-point lead. And McDermott with the basketball. 5 seconds, 3 seconds, Need. Gosling, three elbow, good at the horn! Johnston executes the play to perfection and takes a 2-point lead into halftime. Are you kidding me?
Have yourself a first half and a Gosling. What a great setup. Nobody panicked. They knew the clock was winding down, ran it to perfection. Gosling lets it fly, nails it at the buzzer.
Gosling unofficially 10 points in this half. And she was 0 for 1 from three-point land before she hit that shot. And all right, we're going to talk Gary Ross, the basketball administrator for the Girls Athletic Union. Find out how we got all these teams here. He has a busy job all winter watching basketball. We'll talk with Mr. Ross when we return here on the halftime show as Johnston enjoys a 2-point lead.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on. They say our idea of fun is morning tea and afternoon tea.
And anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
It's game day. Brisket smoking. The stakes are huge. Full rack, baby back. Fired up, quarter pound. Fast pass, dribble down. Slam dunk. Buzzers beat.
Victory goes to Fairway, the champion of me.
With new Casey's Rewards, you can turn pizza into school donations. Download the Casey's app and earn points you can turn into donations to the schools you care about most. Or turn points into Casey's Cash or fuel discounts. Start earning more ways to give and get a little more good. Casey's Rewards. Points for school, points for you, points for fuel, points for good. Now at Casey's, our delicious handmade taco pizza is just $13.99. Casey's, here for good.
We know you have choices where you buy and service your next vehicle. At Schottenkirk Chevrolet, our core values make the difference. Hard work, always working to exceed your expectations. Trust, we accept the challenge to earn yours. Honesty, it's non-negotiable. Integrity, everything we do is guided by our core values. Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee, let us prove to you why we're different.
Back at halftime, just another ho-hum Class 5A semifinal. 33-31, Johnston enjoys a 2-point lead. Gary Ross, the basketball administrator for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union here. So this is one of those rare moments where I actually see you sitting.
Well, it's a wonderful week, and it gets my steps in. I don't have to worry about going in the morning working out.
What is your step count on a given day here?
I'd hate to count. I don't know, a lot,
but
it's fun.
Your phone will
it's
do
all right.
that. Your phone will track it if it's in your pocket. I hate to see
I kind of don't want to know. That's all right, though.
You spend your main sport for the union is basketball, and that means a couple of things. Rules and play on the court, right? Kind of all fall under you, and then there's just different subsets. Do I have it somewhat right?
Yep, exactly. You know, obviously track and field and cross country people will say that's their prime. So those three are my sports. But
this time of year,
that's exactly right. You know, with the basketball, it is a combination of things. We have Chuck Britton from that's our supervisor of officials that does a great job with our officials and rules that I work directly with a lot. And again, a lot of it is getting around, showing the face of the Iowa girl to our different teams around the state. And that's something that I love immensely, having been from the AD and coaching world. I just love that aspect of it.
Now, I saw you earlier this year. You made it to Osage. They dedicated a new gym. You were up there for that. It's not just a central Iowa thing or a western Iowa, but it is all of Iowa. When you go up to games like that, I talked with your boss, I think it was the night before you'd gone up. I go, where's Gary going tomorrow? And she pulled it up. Everybody knows. How do you plan a season of travel?
You know, I look at, the schedule, obviously try to plan a couple weeks ahead, but try to look at really key good ball games. I mean, obviously there's lots of good ball games, but really try to find some games in different parts of the state that, potentially impact, the tournament down here. Teams that might be state tournament ready at some point and get that eye test. I think that's important to show that they're important, the teams, the coaches, the administration, and be there to be a face for the Girls Union.
And then that also helps. You also participate in the process of rating the teams. Is that right? A little bit with Jason?
Yeah, Jason is a primarily person, but obviously he seeks input from a lot of different sources to compile that. And for me, the eye test is really a good one. You can statistically and all that tell a lot, but really when you actually see them and you've been around the game a lot, I think it really gives a different perspective that I think is real important.
And you get to see those teams that you saw earlier. We'll go back to Osage, for example. They make the state tournament. In fact, they make the semifinals. So when you reconnect with those, I mean, of course, there's meetings that go on during the year, but you're able to connect with them and go, all right, that did confirm what I saw, and it translates to a very even field. Let's look at 4A. We talked about this yesterday. 7 of 8 of your top 8 made it to the state tournament. You just had one little upset, and then so that just leaves some great teams when it comes to play here at state.
Well, I mean, we just got great, outstanding basketball right now in Iowa, and we hope to continue it. But it just does talk about the tremendous level of our teams and the quality at all parts of state. Depending on what class and depending on which part of the state they are, it's different. You have certain segments, pockets that maybe are stronger in a certain class, but obviously there's a lot of good teams out there, a lot of good teams around the state that are not here, but obviously a lot of teams that are here that it's just exciting for them.
And they're all watching on the stream.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing, and we appreciate the opportunity. I get different texts and things of appreciating the fact that they have the opportunity to watch that when they're not able to be here.
And I assume most of them say more Laura, less Paul.
I
would
tell
imagine
you,
that's what
Paul,
it is.
Paul, you're right up there, buddy. You're getting a lot of good feedback, and I appreciate. We Wartburg people,
we have to
like
stick
to pull
together
together
a little
That's
bit. That's right. So Gary, Gene kind of let it slip a little bit about the rest of the week. Again, the ceremony part will continue and the show. Right now we have the 2 dance teams that went on the court. Now we have some other competitions. The fans get into it as well. You can just sit here and watch a show all day.
Well, you know what it is. It takes a lot of people doing their part to make it effective, and we have a lot of wonderful people here, a lot of wonderful volunteers that are willing to, step forward this week and help out in different aspects. So, it's always fun. Like Tom out there running around now with a headset on. He's real valuable in a lot of our halftime entertainment and those things. So, it's anything we can do to try to make it even more special than it already is kind of our theme and hope that we can do. Always try to find a little something new, too.
Always a wrinkle. And today it looks like it's the black and pink look.
Yep, we're
another
matching.
wrinkle.
Yep,
you always have the
go.
matching things.
Yep, very good.
Gary Ross, the administrator of basketball for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We are at halftime. We'll bring Laura Leonard back in, look at those first half statistics, and get ready for the second half after this.
At Waldorf University, we are warriors. On campus and online. In the classroom and on the field. Our work today will power tomorrow, continuing a rich tradition started in 1903. And once you're one of us, you forever are. Waldorf University, we are warriors.
Crowded lecture halls? Not anymore. Southwestern Community College is a different place. It's where we break from traditional college to do what's best for your career. It's about teaching the way you learn, having fun along the way, and giving you the experience you need for what comes next. A job and an income in as little as 1 year. That's why you go to college in the first place. Southwestern Community College. Your career starts here. Check out SWIC's career-related programs at swiciowa.edu/yourcareer.
It's game day. Brisket smoking. The stakes are huge. Full rack, baby back. Fired up, quarter pound. Fast pass, dribble down. Slam dunk. Buzzers beat.
Victory goes to Fairway, the champion of me.
Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. Our city is buzzing. Catch what you've been missing today.
We know you have choices where you buy and service your next vehicle. At Schottenkirk Chevrolet, our core values make the difference. Hard work, always working to exceed your expectations. Trust, we accept the challenge to earn yours. Honesty, it's non-negotiable. Integrity, everything we do is guided by our core values. Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee, let us prove to you why we're different.
A look at your halftime statistics. Johnston leads by 2 behind 39% field goal shooting, 50 from 3, 4 of 8. City High's taken 13 threes, Laura, and rebounds are in favor of Johnston. Turnovers, steals, all of that kind of consistent. What stands out to you?
Well, I think the thing that you kind of touched on is the 13 three-pointers for City High. That's a high number for them. They have, but they have a good balanced scoring attack. That was one of the keys, have the balance. And they do have 5 players that have scored for them. So that's probably the biggest. And one of the things going back to the quarterfinals, just looking at numbers and statistics, Iowa City High is a team that only turns the ball over 7 times a game. And that was one heck of a screen set by Kendall Need. That could have been an illegal screen or not, but it was a powerful screen, and then she rolled off of it wide open.
And Mock gets position, and pretty sure she said something, but I know it finished, get her off. And the first part I'm not going to say. Maddie's a competitor, and so are all these City High girls. Both of these teams stayed in the locker room a little bit longer than normal, Laura. What are they talking about?
Well, I think adjustments, and I think that maybe calm things down. You've got one half here. You've got to win 2 quarters, break it down that way, and play in the moment. Yes, we know we're playing to get to the championship game. Put that in the back of your mind. Play these quarters. Do what you need to do right now. Don't think ahead.
Gosling pulls up the drill. They go the exact play the other way. This time, McDermott on the receiving end of the give and go.
Just a little jab dribble towards the defense, and McDermott slips right behind it. It's a great feed and a great lead pass.
The 3 on the way, no good. McDermott, Gosling, the trail, the connection made. It looked good. It was right in line from where we were at. I didn't want to say it.
It did, and it got the soft touch off the rim and off the glass.
Gosling now with 13. She hit the bucket right before the buzzer. Her Dragons now up by 9. Now 6 is the 3 response. Aubrey Jones. She has 14. Anything she can do, I can do better.
Well, and who was defending her was Gosling, so it's just a little bit of a chess match between the two of them. You got a 3? Well, I have a 3.
Who says televising chess is boring? That would be exciting. This is a great way to watch. Mock cut, missed the cut there on Gosling. Now they go Need, who takes 3 steps, and she's fouled. I think they got Kelsey Jones on that. So Need, we talk about what she would be like in the third quarter. I think we just got our answer on these 3 plays.
Still being aggressive. The one thing that she did as she was making that drive, she saw Jones come over to stand the ground to try to take the charge. She adjusted in midair to avoid the full-on contact.
Need hits the first of the free throws as Evian Richardson comes in for City High. Substitutions are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Need's second free throw is good. 42-34. Put back, no good, just a little strong by Aubrey Jones, who now almost was going to steal Gosling's pass. Gosling makes a move left, right, and scores.
Defense turned their head, and as soon as they were looking the other way, Gosling was able to blow by. You're going to see Richardson turn her head, lost track of Gosling, and she was able to split the two to get to the glass.
Well, and it's beach day for the Johnston fans as they are looking to celebrate here and get into that title game. Something that's eluded this group in their trips to Wells Fargo Arena. They, in the last couple of times, that very good Valley Johnston semifinal last year, Laura, where it featured Zoe Young for Valley, who went on to become state champs. City High played against Iowa City West in the title game a couple of years, so these girls have seen that title game and they know they want to get back.
Well, and that's something that you have that on at the beginning of the season. That's on the list of goals. Get back to the state tournament, goal number 1. Get to that championship game, goal number 2. Win the championship, goal number 3. And I think all the teams that, whatever class, those are 3 main goals that you have when the season starts heating up in November.
City High came over yesterday and practiced at Valley High, so I assume they saw that state championship trophy, hoping for a little Tiger magic to come on their way and propel them into that title game. But they've got to mount a 10-point deficit here with 5.5 to play, third quarter.
You know, there's some miscommunication on the floor. Raka and Cook are talking, and they're out of position. They cannot get into the offense that they want to run.
Nkumu was calling for it, but McDermott jumps out of the gym, and driving is Jones, and clearing it is Kenzie Gillick.
They just were not comfortable at all.
Oh my goodness, Need, but the pass from McDermott. We have seen so many times those two, Laura, over the years, they have such an ability to know where the other one is on the floor at any given time.
Well, and how much more wide open can you get? That's miscommunication defensively. And I know that Coach McTaggart, kind of like we saw Coach Gillick in the first half, throw his hands up and say, why'd you leave her that wide open? I think he's feeling the same way.
Aubrey Jones follows her own shot to get it back to 10.
Aubrey Jones is single-handedly keeping this team in this ball game, staying very active on the glass, going up strong.
Aubrey Jones now with 16, Mock and 1. You know, I want to finish something here about Need that you were talking about. When you defend a whole half, making adjustments to not having Kendall Need there, it's probably part of that miscommunication problem that City High is having right now.
Yeah.
As evidence right there on that bucket.
Yeah, and again, though, what a great setup. And that's twice we've seen Gosling make a good interior pass.
And somehow Johnson gets the rebound. McDermott's off the mark on the 3. Cook the rebound.
That would have been a big bucket if that goes.
Place would have gone crazy on the Johnston side. Nkumu, a little bit of look of frustration right there when she got the ball. Raka. Nkumu will shoot over and score the 3. Rose Nkumu.
That's the bucket that they needed, but they got to get back on defense.
Need the head fake again. This time there was at least a white jersey in the vicinity.
Yeah, but what a connection. That pass was made from about three-quarter court on the mark right to Need.
And a 15-foot jumper good. Jones. Aubrey now with 18. Gillick drives, too strong, tipped away, A push? Yeah, we're going to have a foul on Mock.
Again, a gap in the defense, and they're exploiting that. That is an adjustment that City High needs to make. They have got to get back. They've got to cover up because they're allowing the Dragons too many easy looks.
Aubrey Jones with 16, not 18 yet. 7 for Nkumu and Raka. Anna Gosling 15 and 12 for Kendall Need. Nice move by Rose Nkumu. Jones skies. Now another 3. Nkumu is an air ball. Nkumu's trying to put this team on her back right now, and Joneses are helping, so they're going to have to rely on those 3. How do those 3 not do too much, Laura?
Well, I don't think they can. I mean, I think they need to do everything that they can do and then look for some help. Paige Rocca needs to step up and start knocking down some shots. They've done a good job of slowing her down as well, and I think, Nkumu with that shot was a little short, legs maybe a little tired. See if they slow it down and slow the pace here a little bit.
McDermott's layup is missed. Ooh, Jones, nice move. Tipped into the hands of Nelk. Gosling. She doesn't have numbers and she don't care. Need is there. And then McDermott steals it. Gosling for 3. You almost had a knockout punch right there, but Nkumu runs the fast. We've picked up the pace just a little bit. 3, no good. Nkumu chases it out of bounds. It'll go back to Johnston off the miss by Jones.
What a little flurry of activity right there. And
take a breath.
Who does that favor? I think that favors Johnston.
I think you're right.
And I think that City High now needs to try to temper that tempo a little bit. They need to slow it down.
Oh, McDermott, that should be an offensive foul, and it is. Mock threw the left arm out. Great step up for the charge by City High.
We're going to get a good look at it here. The dish puts that arm out to clear the way.
I think that was Kelsey Jones that took
the
charge.
Yep.
Johnston by 9. Minute 44 to play, third quarter. Nkumu. Jones to her sister for 3. Mock the rebound.
Good look. It was a really good look.
Ooh, Need was open for a moment, but Raka got back to prevent an easy bucket. Need.
You've got to be careful, though.
Yep.
Each person that doesn't handle the ball all the time, she's out on the point, and they are taking a little air out of it right now.
Well, I think they were calling the 4 out. Clear out for McDermott.
Spread the floor and allow McDermott to drive and slice and dice through the defense.
And we're going to have an offensive foul on Nkumu as McDermott steps up and takes the charge.
Contact on the drive. Those are such tough calls for the official to make.
There's a pair right there. Need and McDermott. Those two have really made this Johnston team go, but it's not been those two in this game in the first half. Anna Gosling, Nelk, Kinsey Gillick. I mean, it's been the other players. And how many times, Laura, have you seen it at the state tournament where it's sometimes that 4th and 5th player that makes the difference in the game, especially in 5A?
Yeah, it's somebody that you see through the entire season. They've had a role, and they've allowed the others to score and do all the big things and get all the accolades. But when it comes down to crunch time, they sometimes are forgotten about on the opponent's side of things, and that's when they step up and make some noise.
And usually in 5A, you are countering 2 or 3 Division I players for each team. It's always about your 4th and 5th. What's the saying? 2 great players gets you to state 3, helps you win games, if not win it all. And you find some teams might have an incredible individual scorer, but just not enough of a supporting cast. And then you've got that team with no maybe headline star that can play and finish on a Friday or Saturday night in a title game.
Those are teams that it's just, and that's what it is. It's a team. It's not just a one-person show. You've got supporting cast. You've got balanced scoring. And, boy, that's exactly what we saw in the first half for both of these teams. Just balanced scoring. Others stepping up. You had 5 players that scored for City High. You also had 6 players that scored for Johnston.
McDermott to Need, the underneath, reverse. Need rips it away. And we're going to have a foul on City High. Going down hard was Jones. Aubrey there kind of caught in the left arm of Need, who, I don't know if you heard it in the post game the other day. I asked something about Kendall's game, and Coach Jellick said, he goes, her game went from here and then threw his arm way over his head up to here this season.
Yeah, she certainly has developed. Oh, nice block from behind.
Well, Johnston doesn't convert, but they do take a 9-point lead to the fourth quarter.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
With new Casey's Rewards, you can turn pizza into school donations. Download the Casey's app and earn points you can turn into donations to the schools you care about most. Or turn points into Casey's Cash or fuel discounts. Start earning more ways to give and get a little more good. Casey's Rewards. Points for school, points for you, points for fuel, points for good. Now at Casey's, our delicious handmade taco pizza is just $13.99. Casey's, here for good.
Hey, Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu.
Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. Part of the in-house entertainment is a look inside the locker rooms with these two teams. We just saw Kendall Need and the rest of the Johnston team dancing. Kendall Need was in the main show choir at Johnston for a number of years, love show choir, and she finally had to give it up going into her senior year. I said, you miss it? She goes, oh, absolutely. The work was hard, but every team, Laura, I think, that submitted a questionnaire from the union and from Iowa PBS about your coverage and what makes your team special, they all said dancing. Every single one of them. Paige Rocca hits a 3 to start the fourth quarter.
That's exactly what they needed to get them going. They had a little bit of a down quarter in that third. Johnston had the momentum, and a great way for City High to come out and grab a little bit of a spark to start the fourth again. Now, Johnston going to spread the floor and use some time.
Need, well, we've seen it where they've run the 5 out or 4 out, but do you hear what the fans are saying, Laura?
I can't hear.
There's no shot clock. That's a way we can both not do any more basketball games if we start talking about that. McDermott fouled by Jones after a minute goes off the clock.
And they are now in the bonus. So from here on out, so pretty much the entire fourth quarter, they are going to go to the free throw line. So this is going to be a difference maker for this ball game and how City High plays it.
McDermott misses the free throw. She's normally a 79% free throw shooter. As a team, Johnston is the best in field goal percentage. But from free throws, they are second or third best in the tournament.
Well, and a huge steal Johnston was able to get the offensive rebound off the missed free throw shot, but then City High comes up with a big steal and a bucket.
Oh, what a nice shot, Ella Cook. They're going to need some of that here soon, as she's now got 10.
Haven't called her name a lot. She had a couple of spurts early on in the first half. A little quiet through the middle part, but now steps up big.
Lead down to 4. Now back up to 6 on McDermott's drive.
I think that's a better plan of attack for Johnston. You don't want to pull the ball out for 8 minutes and hold it. That's not your makeup. That's not how you've won as many games as you have won. That's, in my opinion, playing not to lose.
Cook for 3. Ooh! Gosling the board. Jellick there. McDermott has it. She gets it to Mock. Power dribble. 1. Bucket in, and 1 more to come.
Court vision by Maya McDermott takes the defense away, and then a little slip pass between 2 and 3 defenders. What a great job of just creating some space in there by McDermott, taking herself away from the basket and allowing Mock to step in.
Dragons by 9. 5:51 to play. Nice move, Cook. She traveled before the contact. And if it would have been Need, it would have been 4. Need was in the area.
Just some indecision, was looking to pass, and instead had the opening to go to the hoop and shuffled the feet.
At some point, if you're City High, you're going to have to extend some pressure. We'll find out Laura Leonard's answer. Well, now. We'll find it out now. Do you change? That's not who you are in this point. And that's the problem in some of these games, and you have to maybe change who you are to get yourself back in.
Well, I think they're going to have to come out and pressure and try to keep the ball out of McDermott's hand. We saw Kendall Need try to handle the ball up top. That might be the best scenario for Iowa City High. Get it in her hands, keep it away from McDermott. I think they can get some steals if they're aggressive enough. And they're going to, I mean, however aggressive they are, if they foul, they're going to put Johnston on the free throw line. Do you hang your hat on that? Johnston's a pretty good free throw shooting team, but you've got to come down once you get the turnovers or the misses. You've got to score quickly. You've got to be efficient. You don't necessarily need threes right away. Almost got a steal there.
There you go. McDermott is now in double digits. 3 Dragons in double figures. One of them just had the ball go out of her hands, Anna Gosling. McDermott with 10, 12 from Kendall Need. Maddie Mock has 10 rebounds, 9 points.
I think she had 10 rebounds
she had 10
in the first.
opening. I was just going to say, she's got 20 rebounds for the tournament.
Now, if this ball goes into a corner, I think if you're City High, you've got to trap, and you've got to be aggressive with the trap. There's one steal.
Or just pick it. Nkumu can't get much past her. Up ahead, Jones in transition. That shot won't go. Nkumu is fouled by Mock on the rebound. So City High maybe pushed the tempo. Now when they play, City High lost the last regular season game at Waukee. Just didn't have a good day shooting. Some of that has continued. They're still shooting 35%, but Laura, it just feels like it's a lower percentage. But shots like that go for Jones. She is a gamer.
That is the talent of Aubrey Jones. The length, able to extend it, and able to get it to crawl over the rim to get the much-needed points for City High.
Aubrey Jones now with 20 to lead all scorers. 10 for Raka, 10 for Cook, 7 for Nkumu. Kelsey Jones only 3 points. So Kelsey gets into this game here. We could really get interesting. She averages 11, well under her averages. There's a look at Need going to the basket.
And I think both of these teams, you look at it and you go, okay, we have 4 minutes and 30 seconds to play the hardest and toughest basketball that we can play, and that young lady is doing that right now.
Jones and McDermott go. No contact. Stolen away. City High, a chance here to really get their crowd going. Jones drives on Gosling, goes to the floor, and Kumu saves it. Rocca, corner three, good! Time out, City High after the 3-ball corner pocket.
They sped them up, and they were able to get the turnover, the drive, and the almost takeaway. And what a great save by Nkumu. Quick flip over to Rocca, clutch 3 by Rocca.
Wow, what a shot, Paige Rocca.
But down here on this end, they kept the ball out of McDermott's hands, and that's how they got the turnover. They were able to get the turnover, and they have had a nice little run fueled by Aubrey Jones, and then to cap it off with the 3-pointer by Rocca. And I'm going back to the fact that they came out in the fourth quarter. Johnston came out in the fourth quarter slowing the pace down. Play with what got you here. Dance with the one that brung you, and that's the running game.
Keep your feet on the gas. And City High is going to have a little bit of pressure as Nkumu is guarding McDermott.
They're staying with her. They're going to face guard her.
Need is going to drive and not score again. McDermott tries to get the steal. City High can tie it with a 3. Rocca. Now Nkumu. Now we get a little bit of noise. .330 to play in a great semifinal. Jones drives on Gosling, has it lost. It goes off of her hands, and it'll go back to Johnston. Aubrey Jones got turned around there by Anna Gosling.
Cut off the baseline, got the hands in there. Almost had the corner turned, and right there, when she pulls up, Gosling reaches in.
McDermott comes to get the basketball. And Johnston back to pulling out the ball. Need.
It's a lot of time.
Into the corner. Mock makes a move and fouled before she can get to the basket.
And that's the one thing they have in their favor is that they are in the bonus. So that does help them when they do spread the floor.
Johnston as a team, 6 of 7 for, or 11 of 15 for free throws in this contest. 73%, and Mock hits the front. Mock points 10 and 11 come on the free throw line.
Is that a nice little double-double for her?
5-point advantage, Dragons. Nkumu, nice spin move! She is fouled by Maddie Mock. And that is going to be fourth foul, but that is her 5th foul. And that, Laura, at 2:49 is a huge departure. And now opening for City High.
And they're going small now off the bench. They're bringing Zoe Buchan in. And Mock just reaches in trying to prevent the easy layup. And that was an amazing move by Nkumu with that spin move.
Nkumu pretty much automatic at the free throw line. She hits the front.
See what City High does out of this off of a make. Are you going to get some full court pressure out of them?
Yes is the answer.
Just on one, just on McDermott.
3-point advantage for Johnston. Buchan.
They're going to make them force the action. They're going to make them come out. They're pushing them dangerously close to the half-court line.
Need another crossover on Jones. Spin in the move into the paint and scoring. So it's looking more like a one-on-one game right now.
They're spreading the entire floor, trying to keep the middle open, and if they do see the opening, go ahead and take it, just as Nkumu did right there. Took it right at the defense.
Rose back to a 2-point game. Or 3-point game. Jellick was open for a moment. Richardson comes out on the defense.
Johnston has 3 timeouts left in case they do get into a situation where they need to call one.
Biukin. 90 seconds to go, and we have a foul on Richardson. It's a long way from home to be having a foul.
And Richardson kind of looked at the official and said, I just was kind of playing some defense. I just bodied up. Wasn't too aggressive. You don't need to call that one, I think is what she's thinking.
Kinsey Gillick, 77% free throw shooter, the junior, hits this. Another IMTINS.com substitution. IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free by going to that website, IMTINS.com. Kinsey Gillick hits a pair. Those are big. Back to 5, 2-possession game. And we have to pick a Casey's player of the game here real soon, Laura. I get so wrapped up in the game.
Yeah.
Sometime we might actually get a breath and tell you who that player is. We're going to have a 5-second call. No advancement there on City High.
Just trying to find something open up, and they did not have a whole lot of movement. And I almost think you might want to call a timeout here and try to talk strategy here for the last minute 13.
Finally, Johnston gets it in to Need, who's going to get pressure. Biukin across mid-timeline, and I thought a timeout was coming. Biukin pulls up her dribble, and then she, what do we got? Timeout? Okay, we're going to keep it here. Sort this thing out a little bit. We've got 1:02 to play. We've had fantastic players all over. You got Aubrey Jones with 22. You have 13 from Paige Rocca for City High. Then for Johnston, Laura, you got 4 in double figures, Gosling and Need. And then you've got 10 for Maya McDermott. How on earth are you going to pick a Casey's player of the game, Laura? Who are you going to pick?
Well, I have to go with Anna Gosling. I think Anna Gosling is a player that set the tone early on. She knocked down some big shots. She's got a couple of three-pointers, 15 points for a team that is hanging on by their fingernails here against an Iowa City High team that's going to put all kinds of pressure on them. So I think Anna Gosling is going to be the Casey's player of the game.
And that's sponsored by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and Casey's. It's the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on our local teams and fans, making sure there's fresh pizza ready. Win or lose, sign up for a new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools. 1 minute, 2 seconds to play. Johnston 64, City High 59. Johnston the basketball on their end of the court. Paul Yeager, Laura Leonard, and what we expected and got in a great 5A semifinal game. The winner plays 6 o'clock Friday night as we have a foul on Paige Rocca, and that is her 4th. These two teams face the winner. Whoever wins this one plays the winner of the next game, which won't be too shabby either. Waterloo West and Waukee. Zoe Buchan hits the first.
Calm, cool, and collected up at the line. Zoe Buchan, sophomore. Big moment, knocks him down.
City High's got to go now. Nkumu drives, misses, gets her own rebound. Jones is going to come out for 3. She'll drive. They're looking for the and 1. They're not going to get it there. They're just going to get 2 from Aubrey Jones now with 22.
Got a foul right away.
Gosling waits for it. Doesn't come. She pushes it. Up ahead, Jellick. Gosling and
smart move.
They had a chance to put 2 more on the board, and instead they'll let Kendall Need go to the free throw line.
Got to foul. You know when you're under a minute, as soon as you score, you got to turn around and find somebody and foul them. You've got to keep as much time on the clock as you possibly can. They let them slip away, and then smart move on the Johnston end to pull it back out and run a little more clock.
Kendall Need now with 16 points. Missed the second. Door open for City High. Down 6. Jones drives off Gosling. The runner won't go. Need gets it. Get it to the hands of McDermott, and she'll get fouled by Nkumu, and she picks up her 4th foul with 21.8 to go.
That's where I think, yes, try to drive, try to get the and one. Johnson's going to fall back, and they're going to let you get the 2, and knowing that they're going to continue to run time off the clock. And so you got to look for 3s. Try to get those 3s in a hurry. Still have some timeouts as well. If you do score, then you can call a timeout.
McDermott, the first free throw is good, as so is the second. Jones, the runner, no. Tipped around. McDermott, the loose board. She swatted out with 9 seconds to go, and now Johnston can feel it.
Well, 9 seconds left to go, and the Iowa City High team knows that they have let one slip away. Johnston came out with a big second half.
Maya McDermott, the future UNI Panther. And I told her, I said, I just need a few more years before you take my job doing this. She wants to get into television. She's writing a pretty good script tonight. They're down in the first half. They have an incredible third quarter, and they're 8 seconds from getting into the 5A title game. Nkumu for 3. Shot is long. 2 seconds. 1 at the buzzer, won't go. And the Johnston Dragons are into the finals in Class 5A with a 10-point win over City High.
What a hard-fought game. Both of these teams so good and have had fantastic seasons, and we talked about at the beginning of the game. You look at it on paper, these teams were evenly matched. Johnston just, again, that big third quarter, I think propelled them, got them that distance from Iowa City High, and they were able to hang on as it was a fairly even fourth quarter.
Whew. City High will close the year at 23-2.
Fans, please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gary Ross and Gene Berger. Congratulations, head coach Bill McTaggart and the Little Hawks from City High on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Kendall Need from Johnston will advance their team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Dragon fans, your team advances to the 5A championship and will play the winner of Waukee and Waterloo in the next game on 6 p.m. on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we thank you for your support and attendance. Our next game will begin shortly.
Johnston with a 10-point, 71-61 victory to propel them to Friday night's championship game in Class 5A. Laura, good as advertised here tonight.
This is exactly what we thought this ball game would be. It was back and forth. It was hard fought. And Johnston just had a couple of players step up that weren't the usual suspects, and that helped propel them to this win and advance into that championship game.
Anna Gosling, 15 points. She was big, but let's not discount the freshman Molly Nelk with her 3 threes in the first half. Really kind of changed things in this contest.
Yeah, got them when they were a little stagnant on offense, and those 3 threes from different spots on the floor really provided, I think, the momentum that they needed. And then they got the big jumper right before the buzzer at halftime. I think that was Gosling, wasn't it, that hit that?
It was. They brought Need back in more as a decoy, and they set it up. But City High just kept coming. Aubrey Jones did not want this to go like other games have gone for them here at State. Aubrey Jones tonight was just fantastic. You said it, Laura, numerous times. Just an incredible basketball IQ and just did the little things, but just kind of ran out of tricks there at the end.
Yeah, and quite a game. 24 points, and she got some help from her other senior teammates. Rosen Kumu had a nice floor game, 11 points, and Paige Rocca hit some big buckets in that third and fourth quarter to get Iowa City back within reach, and then Johnston able to get some separation and pull away late in the fourth quarter. But great performance by Iowa City High. 3 really good seniors that are going to go on and have great careers in college. And for Johnston, they have one more game and an opportunity to claim the state championship.
Maya McDermott, 4 first-half points, and then she finishes with 14, so 10 in the second half. We have to talk, too, about Maddie Mock. She had 4 points in the first half, 8 rebounds, finished the game, 10 rebounds, 11 points, but it was with the absence of Need, the game plan to get Need. I'm sure you're either trying to get Need or McDermott off the court as quickly as possible. They got one of them, but Mock made a huge difference, too, in that first half.
She did. She was very determined, and she knows what her role is and has been all season long. Rebounds, points here and there, but she came up big in the scoring column, got some big buckets, finished with a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds, and got to the free throw line, played some really good defense as well.
46% shooting from the field for the Dragons, 22 of 48. City High shot the ball 59 times at 37%. For the free throw line, that was a huge thing too. 22 of 27 for the Dragons, 8 of 9 for the Little Hawks. Johnston just got to the line more because they tried to create for most of the game. There were times, though, when they made a lot of people nervous by not attacking.
Well, and I thought it was going to be a mistake in the fourth quarter that they started out right away holding the ball, spreading the floor. That's not their game. They're a get-up-and-go type of team, and when you change things with a lot of time left on the clock, it almost came back to bite them, but they were able to withstand it. City High made a little bit of a run at them, made them a little nervous, but then they were in the bonus right away. And so they knew that any time there was a foul, they were going to step to the free throw line. They were able to cement it at the charity stripe.
This is only game 1 today. We have an incredible matchup coming your way next in Class 5A as the two teams have taken the court, Waterloo West and Waukee. This is going to be a good one. Laura and I will be back for the 4A game later on this afternoon, but Hunter and Jackie will have the call of that 5A game when we come back. This has been high school basketball from Wells Fargo Arena in the Class 5A semifinal. Again, Johnston, a 10-point winner. They'll play Friday night on Iowa PBS at 6 o'clock. For Laura, I'm Paul, and the rest of us here, so long from Wells Fargo Arena.